I spoke with Michelle Parry-SLATER about her No Plasters campaign and how successful that's been and the influence it's having with people in the workplace. I'm speaking with Michelle Parry-SLATER, Director of Kairos Modern Learning. Welcome, Michelle.
Hi, thanks for having me here.
Now, our viewers might remember you from last year's Your Say feature, where you introduced your No Plasters campaign. So tell me, what is it and how did it come about?
Okay, well, I came out of a corporate world and moved into sort of modern learning environment just because I had to. I had no choice. But what got me thinking when I became self-employed was, how do other people do it? So they may be thinking that, you know, I know what we're doing now with this transactional learning and development stuff isn't quite what we should be doing. And I'm seeing at conferences people saying we should be doing different stuff and we should be doing video learning and we should be getting digital platforms, but I don't know how to do it. So I started thinking sort of December 2014, how good it would be if somebody would have told me how to do this. So I started January 2015 with just one tweet every day with a little how to do modern learning, how to practically put something out there that would be a little bit different. And so I tweeted every day for the whole of 2015 just to give people an opportunity to learn new stuff and new ways, but very practical. So it would be things like how to make a video on your iPhone, because that's fine for an internal audience. And people think these things are really difficult to do. You know, maybe how to make a podcast by just using your voice recorder and a subject matter expert from internally from your business. And that's kind of what ran last year, really.
Brilliant. So you're really answering that question that everybody has when they go to conferences and it seems a little bit otherworldly or a little bit out of reach, or they think to themselves, well, we're just not there yet. I can't implement that yet. How do they move from A to that step that seems to be Z, you know?
Yeah, I was very much trying to make it not a very scary place and making it very practical and making it very related to a corporate world meant that people could access it. And I think that's what sort of got behind the campaign. People were really keen to get the tips and to share their own, and I encouraged people to have that conversation. I mean, my original aim, I thought if I could just help one person who's in a job and doesn't know which direction to take, then great. That was my success criteria. And I know from the tweets back to me that it was a little bit more successful than that, which is fabulous. So we got towards the end of the year and I invited everybody, lots and lots of people, to tweet their top tip, you know, what's their practical top tip. And what was interesting is some people got it. Some people, when I say got it, they posted something that was practical, and other people posted things that we should be doing. Now that wasn't quite on the money, because it was all about, you know, how to do it rather than what we should be doing. I think by now, with all of the coverage from Learning Now TV, from the conferences, from the press and, you know, the learning press, we know what we should be doing. We should be moving from transactional to consultative learning in the workplace. But how do we actually do that? What does that actually look like? How do you have a consultative conversation and become more of a business partner than somebody who books Bob a sales course every time the sales manager comes and tells you to do that? So it was interesting when we got to December that, you know, I'd had some influence, but there's still perhaps a little bit of a way to go.
Interesting. So when you first started out, was it literally you thought to yourself every single day, right, what can I share today? What am I working on? What have I found difficult? What have I just solved myself? Was it that sort of approach that you started off with?
I started with in mind sort of things that would have helped me. But as we get through, you know, sort of January into February, that's a lot of tweets, actually. That's a lot of tips. So I started reacting to what was going on around me. So I started reacting to what other people were tweeting. So reading other people's blogs and sharing their ideas in a practical way. Because like I say, most people will share the ideas, they won't share the what does that look like, the how-tos. So very much influenced by what was going on. None of them were set on a timer or anything like that. They were genuinely me, 8 o'clock every morning, thinking, what am I feeling, what am I seeing out there? Because I think by reacting to what's going on in the marketplace, actually I felt like I might hit more of an audience, because other people are seeing that too. You know, other people have just been to a conference and therefore they're reacting to what they've seen, heard and experienced at that conference. So,
and it was all on Twitter, am I right? So 140 characters.
140 characters for around 260 working days.
Wow.
I was really grateful. I went on holiday for a week and I invited the audience of No Plasters who wants to tweet for me, and a couple of people stepped forward, so that was fantastic. I had a week off.
Excellent.
But yeah, every single working day throughout last year. it was important. I'd kind of made that commitment to people, so.
Absolutely. And you've seen this community of no plasters contributors grow, I imagine.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what's the latest in that? What kind of impact have you seen? Are people saying that you've really helped and you've encouraged them? Or
I've been very humble about the whole thing because it's, you know, I just wanted to help one person and I've been blown away. But come December, people were really keen and saying, don't stop. And that was very kind, but I'd agreed to do it for a year. You know, I want to move on to new things and learn new things myself. And I think, to be honest, what occurred to me was I was in the wrong space, actually. Because if somebody in learning and development is in a role and they're on Twitter, then they've got a massive personal learning network already. They're already sharing ideas, they're already getting really good stuff. They don't need me. And it was proven they don't need me because in December, when I invited everyone to share, everyone shared loads and I could have stepped back and no one would have noticed. So actually, the idea of sharing practical how-to-dos on Twitter is so prevalent anyway that I realised it was the wrong platform. So early in January, I blogged about what should I do next, you know, because people were very kind and said, please continue, it's been really useful. And I'm sure it has, but, you know, they've got that opportunity to find that on Twitter. So we've looked at other things now, what can we do next? And I have to say a lot of people have suggested an ebook, so I'm considering that as an option, but I'm not quite sure, I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure which direction to take it. And I have to say, now we're into the middle of January, I really miss it.
Well, there we are. You heard it here first. I reckon your audience, your community will be badgering you to restart the No Plasters campaign. So if people wanted to find out more and to see your tips, can they go to Twitter and see the entire history?
Hashtag No Plasters and it's all there.
Excellent, great. And also they can, of course, check out your blog and see what you're doing now, and perhaps they can give you some ideas and hopefully something will come to you. But I mean, personally, I hope to see that ebook. I think it's a great idea, and we'll be on you for that. Well, thank you, Michelle. It's really great to hear about the campaign and its success.
Thank you.